Officials say at least 185 women and children kidnapped, 32 people killed by Boko Haram insurgents in a raid near Chibok. CNN's Diana Magnay joins us live from London. Another horrific situation in the same area that became so famous earlier this year.
That's right, Max. It was about 20 kilometres away from Chibok in a village called Gumsuri, and we're hearing terrifying reports from local residents who fled to Maiduguri, the capital of the Borno state, one of 3 in northeastern Nigeria which are in a state of emergency because of these persistent Boko Haram attacks. And this one happened about 4 days ago, but it took a very long time, for these refugees to get to Maiduguri. It's incredibly remote, those villages near Chibok. And because telecom towers in the region have been destroyed. But what we're learning is that Boko Haram came into the village firing heavy machine guns at the residents, setting the homes on fire, dousing them with petrol, setting them on fire, killing 32 men who were part of these local vigilante groups which have sprung up across the region to try and protect these villages and towns against Boko Haram militants. And then they herded 185 women and children onto trucks and drove them off into presumably the Boko Haram strongholds around Sambisa forest, although we don't know for sure. And this is a very large-scale attack, Max, and clearly reminiscent of the raid on Chibok back in April this year when the 200 schoolgirls were abducted. The leader of Boko Haram has said that they have been separated, sold off into marriage, have been sold off into marriage. It's difficult to know what's happened to them, but we have another situation. And of course, in between these 2 attacks, there have been persistent raids across the entire region. I think another important thing to mention here, Max, is that in the last couple of days, 54 Nigerian soldiers have been court-martialed and sentenced to death for refusing to fight against Boko Haram. And that really gives you an indication of the demoralized nature of the Nigerian army as they try to counter this incredibly brutal extremist threat in the northeast of the country. Max?